Hi all, Fuzzy Barbarian here. In this video I'm going to show you how to get the smithing text for forging the Genius Strategist's medium armor set. With 6 pieces of this set equipped, you get the Strategist of Legend set bonuses, which are a damage reduction of 2.1%, extend timely guard opening, which is quite useful at times though not as much as it sounds, close combat damage of 9%, skill key reduction of 24.4%, which is a pretty amazing stat when you stack it with Kato the Guardian Spirit, key of plus 14, and skill key damage of 15.6%, which is also pretty good. You can see there what the set looks like. Basically the same bunch of dirty old raggedy looking clothes Marumi Nagiyoshi wears in the dojo mission The Way of the Warrior, and that's because he's the boss who drops the set. Well, almost drops the set. The problem with farming this guy is he doesn't seem to want to drop his headband, which makes this set a very difficult one to get if you want to get it from drops. That's why the best way to go about getting it is to farm him for the smithing text instead, and that's just fine because the smithing text allows you to forge the gear with half the requirements needed to equip it, so that's what you should be wanting to do anyway. In this case we're talking half the body and strength of what it takes to equip the dropped versions of the set, so it makes a difference and you can save some allocation points that way. But here's where we have a problem. While the drop rate for the smithing text is a lot higher than the head armor, it is still very, very low. So the first thing to do is forget about farming this in NG+. The best place is to go back to Way of the Samurai and farm the Way of the Warrior Adept Dojo mission there. The drop rate is so low that the faster you can kill him the better, and Way of the Samurai makes it the fastest it can be. Here's what I'm going to tell you, something that probably goes against everything you've heard, but it's true. Don't bother speccing for luck to try to increase your chances. Luck is practically pointless. I farmed this guy with luck, more luck than you can poke a stick at, and it didn't drop in hundreds of kills. Then I found a very interesting post on Reddit by someone called Genesis13 who pointed out that the most important stats for getting texts is item and material drop rates. In other words, what you want to do is spec yourself out for item and material drop rates above all else and forget luck. There's a link to that post in the description if you're interested. Start by changing your Kodama Blessing to Hunter Blessing. That gives you a 25% increase in material drop rates. Slap a Kodama Bowl on your head to increase that 25% by another 20%, which sounds more than it is, but it does take it up to 30% for a total material drop rate. On your remaining gear, get as much human item drop boosts as you can. You'll also want the Spider Guardian Spirit, his name is Ito Kuri, as he boosts your human item drop rate by another 30% at level 1, which is pretty good. Do all that and you'll increase your chances of getting the smithing text to drop by a lot. I don't know what the percentages are, as in the end it's still all RNG, but I can confirm I killed this bastard over 300 times for nothing. I then spec'd myself out the way Genesis 13 suggested, and bam, second run I got it, so there you have it. That's what you have to do. Once your setup is good to go, head into Way of the Warrior Adept in Way of the Samurai and start farming the boss. Fortunately, he's one of the easier bosses to beat, especially if you use a skill on him. He's pretty easy to get parries on to do the Shrike or similar sort of skills, but by far the easiest way to farm him fast is to run at him to get him to attack you, evade his attacks when he does, letting him use up some of his ki, then counter using the Whirlwind skill, just like I'm doing here. Then, at some point, he'll drop you the text. He'll also drop the smithing text for the Taishiari wooden sword, however you say that, and in NG+, the divine version of the sword will drop 2 from him. Well, occasionally it will. Unless you're rocking a Yasukani Magatama though, you'll need to equip this sword to get all of the set perks happening, and for the love of God, don't use the sword. The sword has proficiency bonus as a locked stat, which means it has a useless stat unless you're leveling up weapons. With the set name in the 7th slot, that means you only have 5 slots to customize with special effects on the sword, which is less than ideal. Wooden swords can be good because they seem to do more ki damage than standard swords, but after leveling it up to 150 plus 6 and playing around with different stats, I can tell you it's just not worth your time and effort. So yeah, put the sword in your secondary slot until you have a decent Yasukani Magatama to get rid of it altogether. Just don't use it. Oh, and if you have really bad luck and don't get the sword smithing text and can't get the boss to drop the sword, which I doubt, because he'll usually drop it before he drops the garb smithing text, I can also tell you divine versions of the sword drop quite frequently in NG+, especially in the submission A Meeting on the Other Shore, so just farm that if you need to. By the way, this is a pretty rare set. You don't see many revenants rocking it, partly because getting the smithing text is a nightmare if you don't spec yourself out right, and without the smithing text the chances of getting the full set are very, very low. That, and to forge each piece of the set, is a bit of a pain in the ass because it requires a writhing tongue for each piece, and writhing tongues are also pretty rare. On that note, I say keep your eye out for Twilight missions, because sometimes the rewards are multiple writhing tongues. When you see that, do them, because it's worth doing. So yeah, it's rare to get and just as hard to forge for that reason. But once you do get it, and once you have forged the set, and providing you pair it with the right weapon skills, you can definitely sail through NG Plus with this set, no problem at all, any mission at all, any bosses at all. And that'll do for now, so I hope you get the set, and until next time, bye for now.